All right, hello there. Welcome to Expose It with Mr. Egalitarian, powered by Solution Dreamers Network. My name is Ogunkayode Kabiru O, and people call me Mr. Egalitarian. Today is going to be a very wonderful, fantastic day because we're going to be bringing somebody all the way from Bangladesh. And believe me, Bangladesh is a place where we brought somebody called Anamika Ahmed the other time, and she was awesome. Now, today, we are bringing in another person from Bangladesh, and this Bangladeshi person has been, oh wow. And believe me, we're talking about a person that has gone wild around the world and has been doing fantastically well to make sure that the Sustainable Development Goals is working. And we're going to be talking about youth democracy for Sustainable Development Goals. We're talking about Sarker Tanvir Ahmed. Now, Sarker is going to join us soon. Let's wine and dine. All right. So, before that, we're going to make sure that all things possible are done to get everything working and to make sure that things are working for the best. All right, so now why we'll do that? Why we'll make sure that we're waiting for Sakara to come online. We want to tell you that Expose It with Mr. Egalitarian has been doing wonderfully well across the globe. We've been getting attention from people all around the world to, actually showcase what they are doing and to actually make sure that they're getting their voice heard. That's what we do here. We make your voice get heard. We make sure that all things possible get done. All right, you cannot be doing something great in life and people won't know about it. If you are facing challenges in cost implementation or cost implication, you can bring it along here. We'll show you to the world and people will be wowed. And again, I want to tell you that it is not how big a head is, but the quality and quantity of information that is there. Yes, Expose It with Mr. Egalitarian features business, career. We'll talk about entrepreneurship and we'll talk about leadership and mentorship. We'll talk about relationship and family and we'll talk about culture and tradition. Now, all these things put together, we're telling you that these things are going to make you people of great eminent personalities. Now, today we're going to bring Sarker Tanvir all the way from Bangladesh, and we're going to be talking about a very important topic, which is youth democracy for sustainable development goals. Now, Sakari is around, all right? It's a very wonderful experience knowing that Sakar is around. We're going to bring him in very soon and he's going to join us. But before that, Solution Dreamers Network is an organization that is aimed at educating youths and adults globally while awakening the business and innovative ideas in them. Also, we showcase promotion, promoting emerging brands for profitability and relevance. While Expose It with Mr. Egalitarian is a show that features remarkable and functioning personalities with traceable records globally while learning from their experience and contribution to global development in all fields of relevance. No matter where you are in the world, we're going to locate you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, all around the world, before we continue talking, we are bringing in Sarker Tanvir Ahmed all the way from Bangladesh.
Hi, Mr. Egalitarian. How are you?
Hello, Sarker. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm fine. And how about you?
Today, I'm so glad that you could make it to the program today. How are you feeling today?
I feel too much honored that you actually invite me, and this is a very good opportunity because the Solution Dreamers Network are working very good with the global arena, and you engage with too many prominent youth figures around the world. And also, I'm the little part of this event, so that I'm too much glad to you.
All right, thank you so much, Sakar. I believe that Bangladeshi people are happy to see you making impact around the world, and they are very happy that it's actually functioning, especially working alongside the United Nations. That is fantastic. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Expose It with Egalitarian, and we have Sarker Tanvir Ahmed all the way from Bangladesh. Now, before we move forward to the business of today, before we dabble into what brought Sarker Tanvir into Expose It with Mr. Egalitarian, we have to know who Tanvir is in personality. Ladies and gentlemen, Sarker Tanvir Ahmed Tanim is a Bangladeshi youth activist and youth leader who represents his country at the international level. Since childhood, he has been involved in various social and creative activities besides academic study. Since joining the World Scout in 2007, he has made significant strides in leading the development of skills till now. As a youth leader of the British Council, the youth involvement in the development of social ideology and its activities in building a sustainable society are directly linked to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. He has formed the Model Youth SAARC to establish mutual brotherhood in the practice of diplomatic leadership for the youth of South Asian. His activities also include promoting the National Flag Act, raising awareness among consumers about food rights, distributing winter clothes among the schools stricken, and so on. Work is underway with national and international youth to make Bangladesh more familiar to the youth with the goal of contributing to the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. He has been actively leading key positions in international organizations, including as Director to the World Human Rights Commission, head of the Bangladesh Embassy in Memnon, Ambassador of the Humanist Eco-Citizen in France, International President and Advisor to the Global Peace Council, and Goodwill Ambassador to the World Against Corruption in India. He has spoken on behalf of the youth since he appeared as a speaker at various international events. Throughout his career, he has archived many international awards, in particular, journalist Bazlur Rahman National Award as received from the present President of Bangladesh, which still inspires him. In 2019, Sarker received an honorary doctorate from CONIPA, Brazil. He is successfully practicing dynamic leadership in establishing peace and justice in the society, association with the youth. As a young MP, he has spoken many times nationally on the rights to food and nutrition. Sarkar's involvement of the youth in all activities is making a special contribution for the overall welfare of the society to keep the youth away from bad acts such as drugs and militancy. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Sarker Tanvir Ahmed from Bangladesh. You're welcome once again. Ahmed, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine actually, and I am today. My feelings of the freshness after seeing you, the guys, and inviting me, and it is too much the boundless actually.
All right, Sarker. I hope Hamatan has not started in Bangladesh right now.
Sorry, I can hear you. Can you please say it again?
I hope Hamatan has not started in Bangladesh right now. Okay.
Yeah, not yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Okay. I learned that you were not actually feeling fine some times ago, maybe like a few days ago. So what about now? How are you feeling now, Sarker?
Yeah, this is a great opportunities actually, and youth actually give me the opportunity that I giving them the also like as myself or my side with the global engagement through the youth parliament and also the SAC that you actually previously mentioned, and the Philippines and also the Indian youth are really invited me. And they are likely to join with my session actually as and they also invite me as a guest of their seminar, and this is a really grateful experiences will add my experience bank actually. Every day I gather the new experiences, and also today's session is one of the part of my learning process.
That's a very good one. I'm really happy that we're actually gaining the people's minds. And I hope today, whatever you're going to say today is going to contribute to the world. Now, let's go to business of the day, Sarker. Now, Sarker, I'm welcoming you to the program officially. Welcome to Expose It with Mr. Egalitarian. Now, apart from your profile, can you tell us who is Tanvir? When we talk about socially, religiously, behavioral modification, among others, who is Tanvir?
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me, Mr. Egalitarian? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Okay.
can hear
Okay.
you.
So, yeah.
Yes,
So,
yes, I can
Tanvir
hear you.
Ahmed, yeah. So there's your questions, the who is Tanvir, and apart from this, my profile, and uh, uh, it be is socially, religiously, behavioral modification, among others. So Tanvir Ahmed is a man actually who believes in humanity and thinks to make himself acceptable over time. And if we talk about equality, my goal is to make an impact by socializing the religious ideology with the society. So, but I believe that we are all citizens of the same world who have the ability to speak collectively, not individually, but working together for a society. So even if we have the country's borders, country-based borders actually, so then we can say that we have no boundaries because we are all equal. To me, the country is first because Tanvir Ahmed is working for the country and represent his country, national and the international arena. And today's event is an effective example. So I thank you, Solution Dreamers Network, once again. And thank you, Mr. Egalitarian, too, once again.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful submission. Okay, now, Sakar, you formed the Model Youth SAARC for youth at South Asian. All right, now tell us a bit about that, Tanvir. What's the catch? What's about that Model Youth SAARC? What's it about?
Okay, that SARC, we say it's SARC, SAARC. That means this is a short form, and the elaborate form is South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation. This is only a half of South Asian countries, and like the ASEAN, like the OIC, like the European Union. So in the South Asian continent, the SARC is one of them. So this is there are the 8 member states of the country. And then your questions is what is SARC and how actually the SARC is work and how I formed the model SARC actually. Yeah. So in today's world, actually, the growth of economy, the growth of youth is increasing day by day, and Asia has the highest number of youth actually. So by making the youth shareholders in the sustainable development goal, the moral and the responsibility of the youth has been made by the more aware of the place actually. So many countries are in the midst of a demographic dividend and are accelerating state reconstruction and also the development by empowering their youth. So the various organizations, government or non-government organizations, not at the state level but also the individual level, have created a big opportunity for the youth to lead in sustainable development and contribute a lot actually. So through some of the world leading leadership practices, model youth parliament practices like the model youth parliament practice, model United Nations practice, model OIC and ASEAN practice. So symbolically, their events are organized to give priority to their views and contribute to the development of leadership. Okay, so not only that, the model OIC conference, if I example it, has recently been established in the style of OIC to establish good relationship between the Islamic countries. So there OIC member states youth can actually participate in their summit and represent their country. So we think that we have the source of implement our leadership project and contribute to the SDGs also by SARC system. And it is an effective part to implement leadership and sharing their ideas among the South Asian youths. So we arrange annually the Model Youth SARC Summit by following the rules and procedure of a SARC Summit, original SARC Summit. So here youth discuss their ideas and share their views and make a paperwork. And we give an agenda under SDGs and they will make a paperwork and they can actually symbolically represent as a prime minister or the president of their country and to be a part and raise their voice as a young diplomat actually. So symbolically they participate their nation's head that I previously mentioned, and also the youth parliament has set up a new form of leadership under the SARC style, and this model youth SARC summit I actually founded, and I attached this with our youth parliament. So the main goal is to have a solution to contribute the form United Nations Sustainable Development 2030, and also basis of our South Asian region. So this is the main task of the model SARC actually. I can hear you properly. Maybe your microphone is mute. Mr. Egalitarian, I can't hear you. I can hear you actually. I have some maybe the internet problems actually, so that I can't actually get you the point. No sound I get from your side.
All right. That was wonderful. That was wonderful. I wish maybe one day, I'm gonna meet Sarker in person. I'm gonna meet Sarker in Bangalore. Okay, okay, okay. Can you hear me right now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. So your question
Okay.
is to the how
All right.
does it feel to be an activist and
Okay, okay,
the democracy
okay.
in India,
Now,
right?
let's talk about the feel to be an activist. How does it feel to be like to
Okay,
be an
okay,
activist, and what is democracy to you?
okay. So honestly, I think of myself as a actually as a sincere citizen, and I think of myself as a youth activist and an activist before I think myself as an SDG advocate also. And also I am the voice of the rural peoples who want to be speak, but they want to know how they actually speak. So this is the time we apply our leadership and advocacy so that they can actually speak actually their voice, right? They can actually raise their voice. So this is a part of the symbol of democracy. So trying to perform many work in such a way that you actually have a huge impact
Yes,
in a short period of time
yes.
without leaving it actually to yourself. So I'm a scout and previously mentioned it. So I have been involved uh, in scouting, World Scout movement since 2007. And our outing activities, that means the field work, are more in scouting, and everyone has to stay together in tent at night. Actually, different type of camps actually. So they also have to arrange their own food. They will cook, but not to buy from the other side like hotel and restaurant. So without actually and without a sense of ideas and citizenship, one cannot be aware of social responsibility. So I try to develop my social responsibility and do so with the scouting ideology in my mind. So that is to try as much as possible. I am definitely an activist and not an international figure, or not a youth figure that the people actually know me, and this is one of my identities. And to me actually, the second part of your question, what is a democracy to myself? Democracy is the guarantee, the insurity of participations as a citizen in all shapes of the state, and the opportunity to present one's needs through oneself actually. Okay, Mr. Egalitarian, there is some problems in your side, so that I can actually clearly actually understand your questions. But literally, I understand that that your question is the about the cyber security and also the internet failures, right? The internet activities and harmful to our youth generation. Is it like that? That this is the question. The basis on the cyber security. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Egalitarian. Okay, and the cyber security and fraud, the matter of fraud actually are very important issue in this the global digitalizations and also the fourth industrial revolutions issues actually. So modernity as well as our the lack of awareness is making us the thing cyber security is definitely working for. If I compare it with Bangladesh, already a cyber security act has been enacted in Bangladesh for protect the crimes, the fraud, and also the victimizations of our country citizens. So I can say that the reason for this, it is the misuse of social media, spreading rumors, and the hunting the basic foundations of the state. So social media is definitely important, but who cares if we are
All right.
not targeted?
Um,
Okay, so
you
not
see the
only that,
youth,
if you consider,
you
yeah,
see the youth of now, championing the, I've been saying global challenge,
okay.
widespread
So if you consider the
cyber
global
among
aspects,
others.
then an
Do you see the
individual
youth
hand,
of now
invisible hand is destroying the
championing
strength of
this
our
cause?
youth. So that is
Because if you look at
the
the situation we
militancy I
have
call, and by
all around,
stabilizing
you see that
stabilizing a
the youth
partnership
are
with
trying to
them through social media,
champion
it is motivating
uh,
and leading them step astray.
programs,
So
trying to
again,
be
money is
leaders,
being
trying
taken
to,
online in their name
forward.
of
But do you
business,
see the youth
and this is the
actually
example of fraud.
championing this cause?
And
I've been
we are
seeing global
actually being
challenges
separated,
widespread of cyber fraud
rapidly
among
targeted.
others. Do you
But
think the
if
youth
our
can
youth
actually
connected Facebook with
pull
textbooks,
the
then their
democracy?
awareness will increase. Yes, this is a threat and a huge challenges for us. So first of all, actually, the youth should increase their interest of knowing, not in the temptations of their own skill, but consciously resist the deceptions actually. And that is the certainly possible. And the answer is that you asked me that the question first question. Yes, this is the possible by socially, familiarly, and really many cases of religious aspect, and also it also expectable, Mr. Egalitarian. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, the women participation, right? The women participation in our the Bangladeshi politics, right? Yeah. So if we start at first actually, when we think about the birth of Bangladesh, we get the participations of women directly, like men. So women also participated in the liberation war directly in 1971. So we think of a country as all, and our great leader, the father of nation, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, through about women rights long ago. So in 1972, he arranged for women and enacted for women and give the opportunity also women to be represented in parliament, so that women would be the representatives as like as the women in the parliament, and they will be part to our democracy. So currently, the women are being the member of parliament in 550 reserved women seats in Bangladesh parliamentary system. And the
Okay. So
interesting thing is that the
uh,
political beauty
this
of Bangladesh is women centric, because the current prime minister is woman, the leader of the opposition is a woman, and our the honorable speaker of parliament is a woman. So there are also many ministers who are actually actively working the state by many ministry, and they are being women actually. So the empowerment of women is increasing day by day. I think the women should definitely come into the politics and motivating men is also one of their responsibilities. So political beauty will be through the adoption of both. Women are already active in politics, and hopefully they will be more active as the men actually in Bangladeshi political democracy system actually. Mr. Egalitarian, I can hear you. Maybe there is some problems in your side. So can you please repeat it? Maybe your mic is mute, Mr. Egalitarian. Can you please check it?
Okay, Tanvir, that's a very good submission. Now, do you think that women involvement, okay, do you think that it's needed in democracy or politics? Do you think women involvement is needed in democracy or politics? Because people, just look at the women as just, the weak side.
Okay. So
But do you
actually,
think that they can get involved in activism and democracy?
okay. So Mr. Egalitarian, your question is to how Bangladeshi contribute to the HDC by participating their own constituency like that actually, because
Yes.
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 Okay. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So at the present, actually, in Bangladesh, the youths are directly connected to the sustainable development goals activities, and many of the organizations in Bangladesh, like Scouts, like the any other platforms in government basis, the Ministry of Youths, and also the planning division of Bangladesh, they're really connectivity to the society, and also the government implement the seventh fiscal year policy, and they added the sustainable development goal to global planning to implement sustainable development, the UN SDGs 2013 actually. So at present, the youth of Bangladesh are advancing a lot through their work actually. The number of school going children, if this is the very highlighting issue of Bangladesh. So the number of total school going children in our country is alone more than the total population of 34 countries in the world. So they are not our burden; they are the resource of our country. So our government is giving them the proper facilities to development their skill, so that they can make the resource and not the burden actually. So they have actually. But one question that makes us wonder: that can the youth participation will play a role in sustainable development goal actually? That is question to me. Think Bangladesh youth have started contributing to sustainable development goal, and in my observation, a lot of work has been done in gender equality, environmental issue, peace and strong institutions, zero hunger, sustainable society, like that, water and sanitation, education, like that. Every goals, every 17 goals under the SDGs actually, they are working, and they are spending their time doing good deeds and expressing social responsibility. As a result among of the drugs, extremism, the any other crimes is the rate of
Wow, that's a very beautiful one,
yeah.
Tanvir. Women in Bangladesh, you are listening to Tanvir now saying that you can actually.
Okay, and as a result, the rates are now decreasing actually. So as a result, the
Oh,
peace and order in the society is improving in
please
the society,
listen very,
and is
very well to
getting
him
future leaders.
and take
So
charge
I'm also
because
giving
he
equal
is giving you the
opportunity
confidence
to the
right
youth
now.
with a view to sustainable society and peace building.
Kudos
You know
to
that I have established the youth
Tanvir for
parliament
that
actually,
beautiful
so that
submission.
these
So
kinds
it
of
means the
activities,
lady in
the
Bangladesh.
moral democracy development, that we actually directly connected to the disease, and they will
All
actually
right.
aware of
So
their civic
Now
responsibilities.
let's talk
So
about
the youth can participate at our the model youth parliament
Bangladesh
assembly, and they
youths
can
in
directly connect it to
contribution
practice the
to
democracy and contribute the
the
sustainable
sustainable
development
development
goals,
goals.
because they
Do you
fulfill
think they
the
can
goal 16
continue
actually.
in
So Bangladesh
consistency?
is now
Do
working
you think
to
the
create
Bangladeshi youths
21 lakh stores by
can
2021, and there is a
continue
special
in
program
consistency
called
with
Fall
the Sustainable
SDG is
Development
running.
Goals
So
contribution
our
in
trip
Bangladesh?
to building a sustainable society is to prevent environmental issues, so that our youth are planting trees to make our country green, and also doing the extensive work actually. So the amount and one thing actually, that the total food waste daily around the world is the figure is the equal of the total GDP of Switzerland. This is a remarkable thing and concerning issue to us actually. How much actually we waste our foods. The youth are working hard on food security in Bangladesh, and they are organizing various events to make the grassroots awareness. And in order to actually firstly say about when actually you described my details, and we actually, the youth of Bangladesh actually works to make awareness in the society with Consumer Rights Act actually. So they are promoting the law, and with other hand, they're trying to stop the illegal activities with the participation, direct participations of the government authorities. So at the positions of Bangladesh, youths are very good, and the youths are directly contributing to the SDG as a human capital, not burden of a country. So if the continuity will continue, and the Bangladesh will contribute an unimaginable success in 2030, as my observation. Okay, so the history, and at the beginning of history, the part of the Bangladesh history, and at the beginning of the chapter of Bangladesh history is not new actually. And the history of democracy in Bangladesh is too much rich than uh, the bigger countries, the biggest countries in this world actually. Where similarly our history similarly to place like this others actually. So after the idea of partitions of India and Pakistan in 1947, we become the part of Pakistan, and then there are two Pakistan: East Pakistan and West Pakistan actually. We are the part of Eastern Pakistan, but the Pakistani government did not give us the fair rights, the proper equality. They don't actually treat us their brothers, their citizens, and forcibly our products and money they use their country, and they develop their nations by using our country's profit. Not only that, the only 3% of Bengalis would be given a chance to the in the Pakistan government jobs like army and any other public sector actually. And also I think the language issue and the populations of the, the Bengali is the national language of Bangladesh, and they want to establish Urdu as the state language of Pakistan by concept, and at the same time, the Bengalis didn't accept this proposal, because with the Bengalis, our population is bigger than the Pakistan, and uh, the language scholar who are in Bengali, we are must be a higher rate we are speaking Bengali than Urdu. So we are the biggest part of this state. So why the Urdu will be shall be the state language of Pakistan? Actually, we need Urdu and Bengali that will be equally treated as a the national language of Pakistan. So, but they don't agree it, because in terms of the population, we are the more than Pakistan, and Bangladesh is the only country in world that have give blood to stabilize their mother tongue. And the Mother Language Day, if we, Mr. Egalitarian, if we search the history of the Bangladesh or the United Nations that they mentioned to us, the International Mother Language Day is being celebrated on 21st February every year in the wake of our sacrifice. All the countries, we respect all the countries' mother tongue, not only Bengali, also the Urdu also. So the path of our democracy is not new, but we are suffrage we were told that we the Bengalis are they were told that we the Bengalis are black and uneducated. And 1970 under the leadership of our father of the nation, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, in the first parliament in election of Pakistan history, the Bengalis got power by a huge margin of the elective government, elective MPs, by the directly vote of our people. But the Pakistanis carry out genocide without giving us power. Then in 1971, we gained the independence through the War of Liberation, and about 3 million people, about the 30 lakh people were they killed indiscriminately in Bangladesh is actually, with the rare in the history of the world. So our democracy started before the partition of Bangladesh, participation of the Pakistan and the India partition 1947. But our democracy activism took shape through the hands of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and his philosophy is, there are 4 strands of his philosophy, that is democracy, nationalism, socialism, and secularity. Now Bangladesh is maintained the 4 pillar of his actually the ideal political views.
All right. So I believe that all these things, all the problems that have been happening all around regarding the Pakistani and every other countries outside there, I believe someday the youth outside there in Bangladesh will come together and you guys will be able to solve it, because I believe in your strength. I believe that you can do that. So I believe that since you're involved in United Nations and Sustainable Development Goals, I believe you can be able to foster such development and you work together with people and be solved. I believe in you on that. So, question, Sarker, that's a very good one. Now, for participation of the youth of Bangladesh.
Sorry, can you repeat it again? The questions, I can hear you properly.
Okay. Okay. Now, in your opinion, how acceptable is the political participation of youth of Bangladesh? And are they active in practice of democracy?
Okay. I shortly they answered this question actually. Yes, in the context of Bangladesh, the youths actually uh, contributed to the SDGs by participation in the democracy. And in fact, I want to use my time. Actually, they use their times to do social advocacy, because the political things is not a little thing like the social activities, but because it is above of the social activities actually. So it is not only by engaging in politics that one cannot contribute to the SDGs or practice democracy. So rather, patriotism and awareness of civic rights make one another and to be a democratic actually. So the Bangladeshi youths are basically they participate, they directly participate in many the political parties like the ruling party or the opposition parties. But I think we need to work first. We need to learn first what is the politics. We need to learn society. We need to learn to social behavior, because the rural peoples, they want to expect from us, because they are the owner of the country, but they elected and they give their votes, and they elected a representative, and the representative will be the voice of theirs, and they actually spoken persons, and they ensure their rights, their infrastructural development, their all facilities and the rights. But something in Bangladesh, I see that the user just engaging with the political parties, and they don't need to practice the democratic history of Bangladesh. So I think this is the main first role to be, if we really contribute through the political activities of a youth, we must have to we must to understand our democracy first, and then we can actually contribute if we are appropriately think that we are acceptable, our leadership is acceptable. We need leadership. We don't need only leadership, we need the acceptable leadership among the countries, and like the Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, our father of the nation, he's an acceptable person like that actually. So this is the good part of the leadership. Yeah. Uh, Mr. Egalitarian, I can't hear you properly. I can understand your questions because there is no sound actually I hear from your side actually. Mr. Egalitarian, your question is related to, I don't actually hear it properly, but your question is related to Sheikh Mujibur Rahman ideology and the SDGs relation between them.
That's a very good one, Tanvir. I'm so glad. Tanvir Sarker Ahmed, Sustainable Development Goals.
Yes.
If you have questions to ask this great man from Bangladesh,
Okay.
this great
Okay, your question is
so
I can properly hear you because
fantastic.
there's some internet failures. So your question is to the relationship between the Sheikh
Passing.
Mujib's ideology and sustainable development goal. Is it your question, sir?
We know that Bangladesh has a rich
Okay.
history.
Yeah. So
What is the
sustainable development goal is
relationship
a
of the
huge thing actually,
SDGs,
and after
the
the MDGs
Sustainable
actually,
Development
after the Millennium
Goals,
Development Goal,
with
the SDG is a new
Sheikh
form to implement the more
Mujibur Rahman
efficiency,
in
to implement the MDGs
democratic.
more successful than the previous actually. So this is the main thing of SDG, and the motto is no one behind. And SDG has the similarities with the ideology of our father of the nation, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. And I can give you some examples for for clarify the informations. One thing,
Definitely.
I mentioned you some quotes of his speech in there many times of when he actually delivered his speech in the public event or political event. Okay, so I mentioned some the examples to relate actually. So he said that the government employees have to mix with the people, work jointly to the people, and they are the servants of the people, servants, and also their brothers. They are the father of the people, the son of the people, the child of the people actually. So they have to work with this attitude. So these quotes actually directly related to the Sustainable Development Goal 16: justice, peace, justice, and strong institutions.
Yes.
Okay. So he said one thing he said actually, the religion should not be used as a political tool, and communism should not rise to occasions, and Bangladesh is a secular state. Muslims will do it religious deeds, and also the Hindus will and the other religions will do their religious deeds like as Muslims. So no one can stop there anyone, and they are equal in their country. So this is the equality, and this is directly connected to SDGs 10 actually. And he says, as he said, that the bigger nations has no dignity. So the country can't be built by digging from abroad. So you have to make money within the country. So it is directly related to SDG 6. One, he says the political and economic freedom is meaningless without the cultural freedom, and therefore Bangladesh's own culture, they will form by embracing the happiness, peace, and dreams actually, and hope also. entire created among the land of the peoples. So it is it is directly related to SDGs 11 and also the 16 somewhere actually. One thing or one another quote that our farmers are the most miserable and oppressed class, and we have to take initiative to improve their conditions, quote unquote. And it is related to SDGs 1 and SDGs 3, no poverty, and also the zero hunger actually. That means the productivity. And lastly, I mentioned one quote, and he said one event that this freedom will fail if the people of Bangladesh uh, do not uh, do not cultivate rice and these all and also the other crops, and this freedom will not be fulfilled for me if the mothers and sisters of Bangladesh do not get clothes. It is related to SDGs 3. So so the sustainable development goal that we are seeing now, and the global mandate have given to implement 2030, and Sheikh Mujibur Rahman the mention and said the long ago from today. So the vision and the relation between sustainable development goal and Sheikh Mujibur Rahman ideology is directly connected. Hello, Mr. Egalitarian. Can you hear me? So, what's the next questions? What's the next question actually? Mr. Egalitarian, I can't hear you properly. So, can it possible to repeat it once again? Okay, in the context of Bangladesh, how the use to contribute the practice of democracy in SDGs? This is the question. Okay, okay, Mr. Egalitarian, actually. Uh, uh, actually, yeah, in the context of Bangladesh, and actually, youth actually contribute a lot of practice of democracy in the sustainable development goal. But we think that only political participations in state politics or local government politics that will be directly connected to SDGs. But I don't actually believe this actually, because without the participation of advocacy, if you are a social activist or if you are a political activist, advocacy is must. Advocacy is must. So if I answer this question, I can actually answer by myself actually. Answer by myself actually that how
Contribute.
actually that the how the youths actually contribute. So uh, in fact, I want to use my time all the time actually. So the
That right there,
difference between the
that is of
time
democracy.
that we waste daily and the time that is in my hands actually is
Contribute
taking
to
me
the
by surprise actually. And
yes.
these two things are differentiated by the ability and also the make the your time properly use actually. And suppose Mr. Egalitarian on youth daily 5 minutes they can save daily 5 minutes for himself. So after 1 month, then the youths collect 2 point. They got more than 2 hours, 230 hours in our hand. If he every day, every day actually save the 5 minutes of his time around their wastable times. So, and in so much time, in 230 hours, what can we do actually? What should we do actually? So, as myself, and in so much time, I can finish the book after a while. If we get
Yes, I can
the
hear
230 times,
you.
I can serve the community. I can develop my skill and engage with training or events so that I can actually be learn from different things and to be a part of de-learning. I can learn different kind of languages like that actually. So this is the method of utilizing your time. Basically, the proper use of time can move a person forward. The person and for this period, I have no difficulty in the academic field when I studied and when I actually doing my activities, social activities. Is not directly hampered or never actually the hampered to my study. And if this objectives or the principle is followed, it can be universally accepted by everyone. So these kinds of method, if anyone or if Bangladeshi youth can actually use that proper time, hopefully they will contribute the SDG to practice with the democracy. But at first, they have to know their self, the learn first, then the utilizing his time. Then I think that this is too much possible to contribute this a lot. Yeah, Mr. Egalitarian. Yeah, Mr. Egalitarian, the next questions.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Egalitarian, the question is the global decisions with the great personalities of the world and United Nations tomorrow. That how would I actually feel as a youth like that? Hello, Mr. Egalitarian. Okay. So my feelings are a lot wider and wider because the sustainable development goal, in the sustainable development goal, we the youth are shareholders among the 9+ of the people. And in the discussions of these wonderful sessions, I mentioned that the main motto of United Nations is that no one behind. Okay, so alone we can do so little, but together, if we work with any work together, then we can contribute too much, a lot actually. So, so this is the think of myself, the tomorrow decisions. Yes, I think myself as a global citizen, so that I have the responsibility to work not only basis on my countries, but also for
Okay.
the people of the other countries who can actually participate, who are not able to participate in any activities that the government should have to
Since childhood,
ensure them, like basic rights. But as a human
when
being,
you started
the youths,
with
we learned a lot of things under
creative
the United
activities,
Nations from also the
now
social aspects of countries' rules, but they don't know because they some are illiterate
with
or some
any
are the
kind
no,
of
it might be. So as
activities,
a sincere
yes,
citizen of the youth,
yes,
we must have to be the
globally
voice of
relevant.
them actually. So it will be the job of the nations to be the voice of those who want to speak actually. So how actually I feel a youth? Yes, I feel very great and honorful, because the in MDGs, the only 8 goals that the United Nations also the publish the goals for implementing the countries, and only the countries can able to implement this. But in the sustainable development goal, this ideology is not no longer, because in this goal there are 9 shareholders that I previously said, that like youth and children, like the religious mentalities peoples, like these kinds of the peoples are the shareholder. That means we are the owner of the sustainable development goal, so that the sustainable development goal ensures are the proper rights, but alongside the United Nations and increase our responsibility, that we are not looking for our government, because we are the part of the shareholders. So we properly utilize our times for ourselves, for ourselves, and do work with the government, so that they can actually feel that yes, the SDG is our part of, this is the part of mine. And if I plant a tree, this is not only my individual sacrifice or individual contribution. This is the global contribution. So these things are actually the United Nations are able to create our responsibilities. So as a youth, actually, first things, as a youth, we have a lot of the duties and responsibilities, because we are the part of the demographic dividend. So that I think, yes, I feel as a youth more responsible than the before, and I make myself more aware, so that I can actually serve my community very well. Actually, yeah. Okay. Maybe the question is related to Sarna and 5 years back plan and how actually right that. So yeah, as I see the SARC and as I compare the youth parliament, this is my the two best things actually. This is two things is my heart actually. I love them very well, and they are my family, because in these two sector, model youth SARC summit and also the youth parliament, many youths, many global youths are engaged there. And Mr. Egalitarian, continuously this rate is the increasing, and today we create a new hub of women, and they also contribute a lot. So after 5 years from now, I see the many dreams of about the SARC. That means the South Asian countries. I think my dream is to be one day the South Asian youth can able to create more leadership practice among them, among us, among our neighbor countries. they expect their peace-based activities, and also they can share their views from not only to stay in their country but also to visit with the South Asian countries and contribute themselves actually. And in my platform, this is the second the summit we will arrange in this December actually, and it is a very proudful moment that the solution driven networks are also be a strategic partner of this event. So we are very excited to because the Mr. Egalitarian is working very good, really good and good, and this platform is a globally prominent the organizations. Mr. Egalitarian greatly effort for that actually, and also I thank all your India team, and they also make the banners, wonderful banners. They also comment, they also share the events. So I think after the 5 years actually less from that you expect from me that I can contribute the more productivity based youth activities where the dynamically youth can directly connect it to the overall development of the country, and they will directly impact through their community by their working activity. This is I can actually issue you.
All right. Seeing yourself at the topmost level, making global decisions with great personalities of the world at the
Okay, Mr.
United Nations tomorrow,
Egalitarian. Uh,
how would you feel
Previously, I said that
as
the
a
United
youth?
Nations has in United Nations theory or the implementation of the project of the SDG by SDG, they create a great opportunity, and they make us a one team under an umbrella actually. Okay, so the great personalities of the world, if you consider your country or my country or other countries, so day by day, uh, after a long time actually we see that the reflex of their work, we see their reflections of their own ideology and the visionary leadership, and also the dynamically working the ability we actually see by their by their by reading their history in
Yes.
our historical aspect actually. So there is some problems in network, yes, that is right, but
Yes.
I'm trying to do my best.
So
So so um, I see myself in five years personally for working perspectives is that at first I want to complete my postdoctoral degree and also contribute my country's economy and also the country's prosperity, so then so that I can actually contribute more to the sustainable development, because we have many time, we have a lot of times, because our vision is 2030. So this is include of time actually within 5 years I can complete. And also I say that because the for that my productive activities will be increased, that my organization and my performance will be sustained and more than the previous. So that I see Sarker Tanvir Ahmed after the 5 days they will be a holder of PhD degree holder, and they can also and he also come back his country and contribute a lot. Okay, there is some sound problem, sound issues. So that I, okay, Mr. Egalitarian, yeah. Maybe this is the last question, right, Mr. Egalitarian? I hope this is the last question. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, we have actually today for the internet failures, internet interruptions. I have some. I feel some troubles to get your points, and so it's better to actually identify your questions. But you actually helped me by writing the questions also. So that's why I am able to actually to understand your questions and pre-check actually. So the last questions that you write to me actually, that how at my message to the Bangladeshi youth regarding the relevance and quality participation in the development change. Okay, so my questions is to my suggestions is to, we are the part of the global mandate with the youths, with the Asian youths, of the biggest youth number of youths among the 60% of total youth population in Asia, and South Asian youths also be a part of this. And the Bangladesh economy is doing very really good. And in the corona pandemic situation, we actually maintain our the economical prospects where the other countries like India, Pakistan, and also the biggest country can do it. They actually shift their economic growth with minus figure, but our economic stability is now running. So we are from the Bangladeshis, from the respectable countries with the rich history. So we have some responsibilities to our nations. To be honest, we don't need the political participations without the acceptable leadership qualities. We don't need any other peoples who are not politics, not actually not actually learn politics or don't study politics and implement how they actually implement their advocacy through their political participations uh, uh, among the community. So that's why actually we need more efficiency use to engage with the democracy-based activities that we the youth parliament do. We organize the symbolical youth parliament session like the youth, the original parliament, so that our youth can give a chance like to be a MP, symbolical MP, prime minister, like the speaker of the parliament, leader of opposition like the original parliament. So this is the process of leadership, so that this time youth can actually do a lot. And last thing I say, so this will be the job of the youths, to be the voice of those who want to speak, and to present the words of those who can't speak in their concise way. For that actually my suggestion to all of my global youths, to following the theme, please follow the theme, that is learn today and lead tomorrow. And I wish everyone good health and longevity. And thank you very much, Mr. Egalitarian. You are doing a very good, and your project is very good. And I know that today the Bangladeshi youth are also joining this live session, and they also the comment, they're commenting, and also I respect the Bangladeshi youth comments. And I also thank to all my Bangladeshi youth, and they are the source of my inspirations today, and also be likely to the next days also. So pray for me, and I will see Mr. Egalitarian to our Model Youth Summit in upcoming second week of December as a strategic partner of and we want to use your logo, use your name, and also invite your whole entire team to our participate our youth Model Youth Summit as a strategic partner. This will be too much honor, and thank you very much, Mr. Egalitarian. I'm with you, and we are with you, and this will be very grateful event that you organize continuously with the global youth actually. So thank you very much, Mr. Egalitarian, for giving me the opportunity.
That's a very beautiful one, Sarker Tanvir, and I'm so much happy happy that you're making the world proud today, especially the Bangladeshi people. I'm so much proud of you. So much proud of you. And okay, now Tanvir, where do you see SAARC and Tanvir in the next 5 years? Where do you see Tanvir and SAARC in the next 5 years?